Adventures, everybody. I'm Melissa Banczak, and welcome to episode 80 of Books Cubed, the show where I chat with authors you should be reading. It is Thursday, October 8th, 2020, and this week we're doing something a little bit different. I have got my friend Terri on. She comes on periodically, and we chat with people, and this time I'm chatting with her. And we are talking about her Halloween collection. So if you're listening on the podcast, I'm sorry. I describe things that she holds up as we talk about them, and I hope that is enough for you. We had a very good time doing the show. I drank my Zacapa, and she had a cranberry vodka drink of some type. I forget what she called it. And if you want to join us, go grab a refreshment, and I'll wait. Okay, you back? Okay. And we're going to chat about Halloween stuff. And there were a few things that we wondered when they were from. And I have links in the show notes. So go ahead and listen, and I will see you after. Okay, I have got my sometimes co-host, Terri Collica, with me today, and we are talking Halloween. And if you are watching on video, which I hope you are, she has a wonderful display of Halloween stuff behind her. Terri is like the queen of Halloween. Her house is covered with Halloween things. So welcome again to the show.
Hey, how are you? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you too. I'm so excited. So tonight we're going to chat Halloween things, and we both have our drinks because we're relaxing. I've got my Zacapa XO, and what are you drinking?
I think this is called Witch Doctor.
I like that. So a toast.
I
love my Zacapa. If you read my novels, my June Nash Mysteries, June is a Zacapa connoisseur. She loves Zacapa. It's all she drinks, and it's caused some problems, so she really shouldn't drink her Zacapa. I may have to address that in a future novel. She's got a bit of a problem. So
yeah. You think she has a drinking problem?
Yeah, a bit of a problem, yeah. So you, I love your house, all the Halloween stuff. And behind you, she has a table behind her. Kind of describe what's on your table behind you for people who are on podcast.
I can. Okay. Well, a lot of it's really old antique stuff. And here's my little hat. You've probably seen pictures where they would party in the 30s and wear their little hats like this.
Yeah, it's like a cone, like a birthday hat, but Halloween decorations on it.
Yeah. And I don't know if this still works.
What do you call those?
You're playing with these little things.
You blow it.
I'm not sure what this is.
And it unwinds. That almost looks like a bubble pipe. It's a pumpkin with a stem on it.
Yeah, what it is.
Yeah, so you can put bubble stuff in it and then walk around and blow bubbles and annoy people around you.
Right. Yeah.
Cover them in soap.
Show you some of the noise makers. You know, back when, I guess when things really started with Samhain and everything, you know, they would celebrate the end of harvest and the beginning of winter. And so on Halloween, they would go out, and at first they weren't trick-or-treating, but you know, when that came about, they would use, because they were, All Souls Day was the next day, and they thought, you know, that the ghosts were probably, you know, roaming and everything. So they would have all these noisemakers. Are you ready?
Oh, is that to scare the ghosts away?
Yeah, scare the ghosts away. Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, can ghosts? I didn't think that ghosts could hear, but I guess they can.
Who knew? And these little things, I love these. I used to take these in when I was teaching, and the kids would beg to be able to use them, but you know, it's just a little clicker.
Oh yeah, okay, so it's a frog, and it looks like
a frog.
A frog, and you just squeeze the frog, and it makes that noise.
Yeah, it's just I guess the way the tin is.
And it is tin. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see, there's a little one. A little one. These are all antique. I would say that they probably go back into maybe the 40s, maybe the 30s. I don't know.
Nice. Oh, nice. So that's a tin one too, and you just squeeze it, and it.
Yeah, this one's a little weaker. But these are the noise makers that I have, and
Oh, I like that. It's a tambourine with a pumpkin and looks like a clown and a Renaissance and a lady dressed as a butterfly.
yeah, I think they were at a party, and that's sort of, the way they would dress them when they would
Yeah,
go to costume parties, for Halloween.
yeah. And when is that one
The
from?
old-fashioned parties. Yeah,
When is that tambourine from?
I think it's the same time period. This might be a little later, maybe even 50s, but I don't ever remember having one of these. But
I don't remember ever seeing one. Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've never seen a tambourine, a Halloween tambourine. But I never really looked. I was too busy looking at the candy.
I know, I know. Let me ask you this: did you ever see these little things? The little candles. This
Oh,
one
it's
is
like a
not
little candle that's shaped like a
a
witch.
little girl witch.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
they were really, really popular. I remember this one is not a very good one, but every Halloween, mom would go to, the dime store and pick up these, and we would burn them, of course. Little,
Little pumpkin with a hat. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Woolworth maybe the five and dime.
yeah. It was a
Yeah,
dime store.
yeah, yeah.
The dime store. These are the types of pumpkins that
Oh
they
yeah,
would
it's
make
paper
to the paper
mache.
mache. And I would
Yeah,
say this one probably was, I don't know, 40s maybe.
yeah.
This is
He's kind of got
probably
a.
one of my oldest things, and they're really hard to get. The authentic ones with it's just a paper in here that has the face.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he's got kind of crazy eyes, and there's lines for his teeth. He's got
Yeah,
black circles for eyes with red dots, and he's kind of a reddish orange. He has no top. Did he have a top?
I don't think he had a top because you put a candle in it. But this one
Ah,
again is not one of the best. You know, they're really, really expensive if you find them someplace, unless somebody doesn't really know what they're looking for, and they go, "Oh, that's cute," and they don't know
yeah.
what they're selling. Uh, let's see. It's one of my favorite things. They have little things like this, and I don't know how I'm going to show you this, but it makes a noise and it sort of walks. It's a
Oh,
little,
it's a little walking skeleton. His mouth opens and closes.
and
Okay, that's cool.
if you wind them up,
You wind
he
him up and
will,
let him go. Cool.
he will go for a while, and then he talks to you. So I'm going to do that now, of course.
And of course, he won't work when we're trying to look
You
at him.
bet. He's been drinking. And then this, I used to also take this into my classroom, and you hang him up, and he
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
goes like that.
What does he have for eyes? Because the back of your
I know.
screen
The
is
green.
showing through his eyes.
Oh, it's picking up the green. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see through.
That's kind of creepy because she's got a leaf scene in the very back, and through his eyes the leaves are being picked up, and it's really
I
creepy to
know,
look
isn't
at.
that weird? Yeah. I can see
Yeah.
that. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and then he keeps disappearing. Yeah, we're using uh backdrops. So yeah, and I keep having my microphone disappear, and you can see
Yeah.
my backdrop. I don't know why it just started doing that this week. From today, the last week's show I did, and this one, I don't know why it's doing that. It's never done it before. Who knows? Who knows?
Ooh.
Yeah, really. It's Halloween. It's
Yeah.
monsters. So I see there's a witch on the back that you've got, the red with a broom on the back, all the way to the other side. No, the other room, the one on the other side, the tall one.
The tall one over
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually, this one is not old. I got it at a fair, a craft fair that they were having. That's probably been 20 years, but yeah, and she's really heavy, but I like her.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
cool. She looks like she's got, does she have a bag with her or is that just her dress?
Um, I'm not sure. It almost looks like a mace or something that she's carrying, like, I'm going to club you.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the pointed finger, and this is an antique, and I usually hang, oh, this one's going to do the
He's
same
doing it
thing.
again too. Yeah, because he's green. Yeah,
he's
he's
just,
green and
he's just going to disappear.
he's got these crazy
Maybe
black eyebrows and red eyes, and you can see his white teeth, and he's about 3 inches long, and he hangs up. That's cool. I suppose how old were the kids in your classroom when you would decorate with all these things?
high school.
Okay, so they're not terrified then. Okay.
No,
I was
no.
thinking like second graders go home traumatized.
Yeah. Yeah, they would love it. So I'll go ahead and hang this over here.
And
And
you got a Barbie back there, I see.
I do. I have a Barbie. Can you see her? You want to see her?
Yeah, let's see the Barbie. I didn't
This
know
is
that.
the
Oh,
Barbie. Can you
Barbie, is
see?
that Cricket with her? Is the
Yeah.
little one Cricket?
Kelly.
So
Kelly, I think.
Cricket looks like she's about 5 and she's wearing a pumpkin costume. And it's a Halloween Barbie. Barbie and Kelly. I'm sorry, Kelly, not Cricket.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly. Oh, I don't remember ever seeing a Halloween Barbie. How long have you had her?
A long time. I don't know.
Forever. Yeah.
And I don't think I haven't ever taken her out. So
Yeah, I
I got
wouldn't
to
either.
play with her.
I
Go
know.
play.
You need to buy two, one to play with and one to keep.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I used to have when Star Wars first came out, I got a back I was 14, I think, when the first one came out back in 77. And I bought a Darth Vader Pez and I never opened it. And my youngest, about 15 years ago, found it, opened it, and ate the Pez. And I'm like, oh my
Oh, God.
God, that Pez is like 30 years old. Oh my God.
Yeah, and people really collect those. Ah,
I know. It's like, oh my God.
yeah.
I'm not worried
Yeah.
about the collection value or whatever, but I was more worried about them eating 30-year-old Pez. But I guess she's like, oh, tasted great. So, oh, okay, that's fine. So what kind of how crazy do you go with I know for the interior of your house? I mean, the first time I met you, I walked in your house and I was like, wow, it was just Halloween everywhere. Everything is Halloween. She even has mannequins in her house. I mean, this house is just fantastic to walk through. So how crazy do you go with the outside of your house?
Today, not much. I think the last time we really decorated was probably about maybe 4 years ago. My college roommate came down and we had a party, a neighborhood party, and we put up everything. I've got blow molds, those big things, um, ghosts and witches,
Oh
and then
yeah.
the things that have been popular more recently were the blow up things,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
the tent material. I have some of those, but a lot of those have over the years they didn't last very long. And like what I have here probably is, I don't know, 5% of what I have.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah. It's a small percentage. What is your favorite thing
my
Halloween
favorite.
related?
God, I don't know. I think I like anything orange. I love pumpkins. What I don't like, now the kids go into more the zombies and the scary things, and I think I'm more into the, like what I have out here.
Yeah.
It's not the scar and the blood and all that, but
The more so
that's
you
because
lean
I'm
toward
old.
yeah, you
Old
lean more
part.
toward the whimsical and the fun, which is
Yeah.
nice. I mean, it's less scary. Some of the we had a Halloween party one year when my daughter was in high school, and we went to one of the party stores and we got the dungeon wallpaper and we covered the entire downstairs in this dungeon wallpaper, including and then we took garbage bags, black garbage bags, and hung them from the ceiling so they billowed. And then
Mm,
we got one of those life-size scary monsters and hung it in the bathroom. So when you sat on the toilet, it was almost in your face. And so it scared me every time I walked in the bathroom. And I knew it was there.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's like this. I have a little spider here.
Yes,
I've got
spiders.
my Halloween tree over here. I don't know if you can even see it very
Yeah, I
well.
kind of can see it. Yeah, yeah. I like the spider. He's got a black body and orange and black striped
Yeah,
legs. I like that. And
yeah,
then green on him. Is there some green on his body also?
probably. I don't know. Is it doing the same thing? I don't see any green.
It might just be the silly. I keep thinking I see dots of green, but I think it's from the green screens we're using.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else do I have? Of course, I would probably haven't done it yet, but I usually decorate my bathrooms. And I have soap.
Oh, it's a little black,
You know,
a
just
little black cat
soap.
with white eyes and teeth.
Mhm.
It's just the
And of course,
face,
pumpkins.
and then a little pumpkin with yellow behind the eyes. Just the classic
Mhm.
pumpkin look. Are those ceramic?
No, they're soap.
They're soap.
And
Oh, I
this one
love
always
that.
smells so good. Huh?
I love that.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do they
I
smell
like
like?
them. And I don't use them. Just
Yeah.
put them out.
What do they smell
You
like?
know?
Anything?
Huh?
Do they smell like anything?
This one, what does it smell like? Sort of powder, really
Oh,
sweet. It's a sweet smell. I don't think this one doesn't really smell. This thing, I don't know if
oh
you've seen
yeah,
this. This is very, very classic, and now it's been made over again. You know, it's bringing back, like you said, the whimsical look. But
yeah.
this one is an old one. I don't have. I mean, it's really getting bad.
Yeah.
But
That's an older one also. And
yeah,
it's a pumpkin with a top hat and a black and white black and yellow bow tie with a corncob
yeah,
pipe, and the
yeah,
pumpkin has the classic cutout face.
yeah. And they would, they would hang these on the walls and everything just to decorate if they were having a party.
Yeah, I
And
see
I
you've
think
got
they
some.
partied a lot.
Do you have some crystal? I see it looks like a crystal ball with a skeleton inside it. Oh, it's a snow globe.
Yep,
Okay, what does it snow or like bones? Is it bats?
bats.
It's bats. So it's a skeleton with a top hat. Does he have a cane?
Um, I don't think so. I don't
It's
know
just
what
this.
he's holding something. There's bones all on the ground around him. He's got
Yeah,
his top hat.
and he's sitting on top of a grave, and when she shakes it upside down, little bats float all
Yeah,
around instead of snow. That is really cool.
this one's a little older. I think it's bats too that fly around the cat.
Yeah, it's a pumpkin that looks like he's like a
Three
snowman, but
pumpkins.
it's a pumpkin. There's
Yeah,
three there's three of them, and then a black cat with an arched back,
does that help?
um, and a big smile on his face. I like
Yeah,
that. What is the snow? Is it bats again?
bats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good go-to because it's bats. You think you think Halloween, you think bats, and it's a good thing to have floating through the water instead of snow.
yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
like to think about snow. Ugh.
I'm going to show you a doll that I got. And I was trying to put her hat on last night and I dropped her and I broke her. But
Oh no! Oh God!
yeah, this is, you probably have never heard of these dolls, but your older audience, maybe, it was a very popular doll, the Terry Lee doll.
Oh, okay. She's got kind of curls on her forehead and then curls, almost like a Shirley Temple outfit. And then a mask. She has a black mask and like ears on
Yeah,
a
she got little
headpiece.
cat ears.
Yeah, and then a little black dress with some tulle and little
Yeah,
red dots, and then a little pumpkin uh, candy bucket, and then tights. So she's
she's
yeah, she's
dressed as a
how,
cat.
and then she has a tail. I like that. So she's dressed as a cat. How old is she?
Um, she actually wasn't one of the original ones, but she was really popular, I think, back in the 40s and 50s. I remember my cousin having a Terry Lee doll, and then I got one. And the interesting thing about them is their hair. You couldn't comb it or anything, and because it's a wig that they made to put on them. And they even had a Terry Lee hospital where you could send your dolls and get them re-wigged or whatever.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I
Like,
remember
I
hearing
mean,
about doll hospitals in the 50s.
she has a broken neck now.
Oh, dear. Well, that kind of fits with Halloween. So,
Yeah, yeah.
there's that old story. Um, I remember hearing it when I was 12 and I went to a Halloween party that the woman she's really pretty and she's all dressed nice and she's got a red ribbon around her neck. And they're trying to figure out, I forget who's talking to her, why she has the red ribbon around her neck. And she doesn't want to take it off. And they undo the ribbon and her head rolls off.
Oh
And
God.
that terrified me. I wish I could remember the story. It
Boy,
terrified
would that
me
be
as a
fun.
12-year-old. Absolutely terrified me. And if
Yeah.
I saw red ribbons, I would think, do they have it around their neck because their neck is going to fall? Their head's going to roll off their neck and that's the only thing keeping it on? I wish I could remember what the whole story was. So if you're listening, listeners, if you're listening and you know that story, go down to the show notes and click on comment and let me know what story that's from. I could look it up myself, but I'm too damn lazy to, and I'm not going to remember anyway. So, if you're listening, if you remember at the end of the show, go do that. So, for outdoor for me, for decorations, one year I went absolutely crazy, and I made all of these. I got a Martha Stewart. I love Martha Stewart. I got a Martha Stewart Halloween book, and I wish I looked for it. I don't have it anymore.
Hmm.
And it had a template for doing there was some kind, I can't remember what it said, but it was you'd had these little bags and you put sand in the bottom with a candle and then you cut out words, and so that as you were driving into or coming into the driveway it said something on each side. And I spent like several days making these and they were so nice, and I was gonna at the end of Halloween I was gonna pack them up and keep them every year. And the next we had to our kids went to school in the next town it was in Alabama, and I got in the car to drive them to school the next day and ran them all over.
Oh God.
So pissed.
I thought you were going to say it rained.
No, it didn't rain. I
Uh,
ran all of them over, but it was the day after Halloween, so everybody had already seen them, and I was so mad. And I just like, I'm not going to do all that work again. And
mhm.
it was so nifty the way it looked. And it was like at an angle, and you could look at it, and it spelled something on both sides. I guess I only ran one side over. I was like, and I might have run the other side over when I came home. I can't remember because we had a narrow driveway. So yeah, that was not good. Do you have any Halloween mishaps like that in your past? Did you have any issues with things like that in your past, or is it just me?
I don't know. It sort of goes with it. I've had Christmas mishaps, a lot of those. Oh yeah, I did have one. I got some candles, and my husband is plugged into the TV listening, and the phone is
Yeah.
ringing, and he didn't hear it. It's funny. Oh well.
Oh well,
Um,
nobody cares. Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I had a fake fireplace, and I had these candles that I had set up, and they were burning. And then all of a sudden, it was really close to the sliding glass door, and I had my curtains closed, and my curtains were on fire.
Oh my God.
I know, I know. I was like, I don't know. I was really lucky. I lived in a mobile home too, and they could
Oh
just go.
wow.
So, what is your favorite candy?
So I love the O. Henry, and they're just so hard to find. I haven't seen them in gas stations in years now. And the last 2 or 3 Halloweens, we searched for the candy bags that had the O. Henry bars in them. Don't
Hmm.
find them anymore. I have to look them up online and see if they still make them,
Yeah.
because that's what I would look for, and then I would keep all the O. Henry bars or go through the kids' candy and say, okay, give me the O. Henry bars, and you're good to go for everything else.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Isn't there
drives.
a catalog or something that has the old candy in it?
Yeah, maybe I can find them at like a Cracker Barrel. We have one in town,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
I could go and check that out. But yeah, that one. And then I think the smell of Reese's peanut butter cups and just regular Hershey's chocolate bars make me think of Halloween,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's about the only time I got those candy bars.
Yeah, Reese's my second favorite. I like sweet tarts.
Oh, yeah, those are good. I like the white ones. I would always look for the white ones. I
Yeah,
don't know if there's a different flavor with the white ones.
I think each one of them had a little different flavor, but
I,
yeah, I loved them all.
yeah, I haven't had, yeah. Well, I did love everything candy wise. Um, I try to avoid, like today, I shopped at the grocery store and I looked at the candy aisle and thought, do I want a candy bar before I leave? And I thought, nah, I really need to be good and not get anything. And unfortunately, usually we go to Disney for the Halloween nights, the haunted Halloween party, and you get all kinds of candy, and then that lasts us through the season. And then we usually have enough from that to give out to the neighbor kids because we don't have a lot of kids in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
In fact, last year I almost chased them down the street because we have a group of about 20 that will walk from our subdivision to the one across the street because most of the people in my area are all older and they don't have children. So they don't do Halloween. And the first year I caught them and I gave them candy. Then the next year I'm like, guys, come back, come back. Okay. And I gave them all candy. And this year we're moving. So I said to my husband, we probably should grab some because we should be in our house before Halloween. And just in case there's neighbor kids that come up, I want to be prepared. But the driveway is really steep. So that might be a deterrent.
mm, yeah,
Yeah. So what was your favorite Halloween candy?
sweet tarts.
Oh yeah, the sweet tarts, sweet tarts. Sorry,
Mhm.
yeah, the sweet tarts. Yeah, I do. I remember being where was I? I was someplace and one of my friends was laughing and laughing, and she said she just bought Halloween candy, and she came home and her husband said, "Can you make up your mind?" And she says, "What are you talking about?" And she looks and she had bought a bag of Dum Dums and a bag of well, it's Dum Dums and what's the other one that's Smarties? They call
Yeah,
the sweet tarts Smarties.
I think it's the same. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I thought, oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
yeah. You can still get those. I mean, I sometimes when I buy candy, to give out, and nobody comes here, so I get to eat it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't remember where we lived. We were someplace and I bought a bunch of Halloween candy and put it in the freezer. And about 3 weeks before Halloween, I looked and there's no candy in the freezer. So I went and bought more and threw it in the freezer. And like the day before Halloween, I looked, there's no candy in the freezer. We had a full house at the time, the kids were still living with us. And I told everybody, I'm buying more Halloween candy. Don't anybody touch it. And by that point, when I went to the store, there was like nothing left but
Mhm.
the crappy Halloween candy. The little I like the Mary Janes and bit of honey and that kind of stuff. And that was about all that
Mhm.
was left. I'm like, well, this is okay because my family won't eat it, and the
And you
kids,
can,
yeah, and then
yeah.
I'll be able to eat whatever the kids don't. Just give them out handfuls, and they'll look at me, and hopefully don't come back and egg my house.
Mhm. Mhm.
And uh, but yeah, that was I finally stopped buying Halloween candy early. They just made me nuts. And now, like I said, I buy just one small bag because we had like 20 kids the last 2 years. And
When you were trick or treating, did they still put the little candy in the little bags? The little.
they started doing that when my kids were little. They didn't do it. Well, they had sometimes popcorn balls you'd get in the little bags.
Mhm.
And yeah, sometimes I think they put candy in little bags. I think I found a picture of me when I was 5 in 1969. I was dressed as a witch with a little hat. I remember my bag had a hole, so my candy kept falling out. My sister kept, going back and getting it for me, which was nice. Um, oh, I know. It's like, oh, it's just the story of my life. There's always a hole in my candy bag. Um, but I think there was stuff in little bags, in the little bags, because you would get sometimes homemade cookies in with the things,
Mhm,
and it
mhm.
wasn't until the folk tales of razor blades and things, that I don't know. I don't think there's ever been a case of that actually any poisonings or anything found in candy ever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just
Those little bags are collectible too. I have some, but I couldn't find them last night. I think I have a scrapbook with a lot of ephemera in it, and yeah,
yeah,
I
same.
need
Well,
to really clean my house and organize here. It's a mess.
And, you think about some of the things that become collectible, and it's just
Hmm.
crazy. Like the idea of the candy bags being something that would be collectible. Yeah, I always laugh when I go to the grocery store and I see collector's items of cereal boxes and think, who collects boxes of
Hmm.
cereal? But I know people that Quisp was one of our favorite cereals when we were little. And, it was Captain Crunch and Quisp that were, I think, advertised together, had the little green Martian on it. And it was little discs and they were really sugary. And it was our favorite cereal. And I know I have friends that still have boxes of Quisp. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, you imagine how bad that's, it's probably with all the preservatives, it probably tastes great still.
Yeah. Do you think that it still has a cereal in it?
Yeah, the one said they still had cereal in theirs. It's
I
like,
can't
oh
believe
my
that.
God,
Wow.
you'd think that
Geez.
ants would have destroyed it or
Yeah.
something. It's like,
Yeah.
oh God. They may have it in some kind of sealed, container of some type.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure that, it came that way, but I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I
It would
remember the
last.
cereal in those days had the foil pack. And
Mm.
when you would tear it open, then you couldn't roll it back down. And so it would go, if you didn't shove it down in the box far enough and kind of tuck it into the side, you would have really stale cereal very quickly.
You know, we should do a show on that. Get people with different collections because I find it really fascinating what
You
people
know,
collect.
we should. That's really interesting. Yeah, the different things that people collect. I remember for a book I was researching, I was looking at odd collections, and off the top of my head, I was trying to think of what I'd seen, and of course, I have had too much Zacapa, so I can't think of strange things that I saw. I was just looking at it the other day too. Uh, God, I can't think of anything that I saw. Um,
Well, I know when you mentioned the Pez that got eaten, I mean, people have those collections. I mean, it's amazing. Like
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has
Oh, I
been
think
made.
the weirdest one I saw was some guy had his own belly button lint. I thought, oh
Oh no.
God.
Yeah, I've heard about that. No. I think that's really bizarre and sort of gross, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's like no, maybe it just doesn't get out much. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. We'll show him.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
bring
really.
that, right? Yeah.
So I've got my Zacapa, and you have your cranberry and vodka. Was that it?
Yep.
Yeah, cranberry and vodka is pretty good. I
Yeah.
like that. And I looked at drinks. Um, there was something that was frozen and purple. It was like a purple people eater or something. I might be mixing things up, and I thought that looks really good, but I'm just so lazy. I'm just going to pour a few fingers of Zacapa,
I
and
know. I know. And
and
I'm not that much of a drinker, so I have my standby Diet Coke, which is my favorite drink.
yeah, I'm not much of a drinker either. And this Zacapa is from my sister Carolyn. Thank you so much. I love you, Carolyn. And she got me this Zacapa XO. I think it was for Christmas, and I've drank maybe 3 inches of it, and I kiss the bottle every time I open it. It feels like I should. It's a beautiful bottle. I would pick it up and show you, but I'm so afraid I'm going to break it.
Yeah,
That I have
yeah.
it on a table, and it's got this beautiful cork, and it's oval, it's round shaped, kind of almost between round and oval. It's a beautiful bottle, and I hope it will last me, years. Cool. Look at that. Okay, this looks like it's what year? Okay, it's October 30th, 1937.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's really cool, and it's got
Yeah.
the cutout of a witch. A couple pumpkins and a black cat, hissing, and then it's got people bobbing for apples. They're bobbing
Yeah.
for apples
Yeah.
in the lower corner of it.
What's really neat, and I'll show you one in a minute, is that most of the covers back then, of course, were drawn, and some were painted. And there's this one artist that I have a whole book on stuff he's done, Harrison Fisher. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but
No,
he uh, he did a lot of covers, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Let's see, I'll show you.
yeah, if you're on the podcast, I'm so sorry if you're not watching on video. These are really pretty. For this time, you might want to jump over to the YouTube channel and look. Okay, let's see what's this one.
You remember probably the
Oh,
Saturday
yeah, the
Evening
Saturday
Post?
Evening Post. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the calamity
Okay.
of
So
divorce.
I
Oh
really,
yeah, and so it's got it's got a mother dressed with she looks like she's old woman, and then there's a there's a one, two, three, four, five little kids dressed in costumes, and
and you can
there's
see
the
that they're basically handmade, except maybe for probably one of those latex pots.
yeah, the one in the front has some kind of a mask, yeah, and then there's a car with the fin tails.
Yeah,
In that, what year is this? Lower it down a little bit so we can see the year.
it is, hold on, wait a minute. November 1, 1958. Yeah. Yeah.
1958. Yeah. 15 cents for the Saturday Evening Post. Does it
Yeah.
say who did was that I can't think of his name. Who did all the Saturday Evening Post covers?
Rockwell, Norman.
Norman Rockwell. Is it a Norman Rockwell?
No, I don't see his signature on this, so I don't think so.
Ah,
And
my mom, for a while there, we were joking that my mom was like Forrest Gump because she's had all these run-ins with famous people, and one of them was Norman Rockwell.
oh, really?
Yeah, she didn't change history or
Wow.
anything, but she used to work for famous artist schools. She was the secretary, and he taught at the school. And she said it was so nifty. She said, "I got coffee for he and his wife, and they were so sweet." And so she got to meet Norman Rockwell. I thought
Oh,
that's just so cool.
that's
Yeah,
really neat.
she would just throughout my life, she would just kind of name drop every now and then and be like, and I found a picture of J. Edgar Hoover autographed to Pam. I'm like, explain this, but she used to work for the FBI. So I'm like, she's, oh, I met him in an elevator. And I'm like, and he'd autographed a thing to you and wrote Pam. I
Yeah.
don't think so. There's more to that story that you're not telling me, girl.
Well,
Did he borrow
there's
dresses from
something
you?
I'm not telling you. Okay, let's see. I think this is Woman's World. I'm trying to find, okay, October 1933.
Oh, nifty. So it's an older gentleman leaning down, and the girl looks like she's got a white cap, and she's got a little uh red dress with pantaloons and a little blue kind of an apron almost over it. And this is and then it's got like a tree in the background. Is this a Halloween one?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, it's October 1933. I think maybe that's, well, I don't know who the guy's supposed to be, but I don't think I don't know. I
He
don't
didn't
know who
look
he
scary.
is.
And he looked happy to see her. He didn't look
Yeah, I
scary.
was gonna say you look sort of scary, but you look happy to see her. This this magazine is one I've never heard of, and it's called Poultry Keeper. I guess it's a farm magazine. It's at first you're going to think it's a one for how for Thanksgiving, but it's October 1931.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, it's got a goose and a turkey with no head because the
Yeah,
goose has his wing open and it looks like he's been decapitated. And then it's got a pumpkin and a lot of um, uh, corn stalks
yeah.
woven like it'd be out in the cornfield.
So
Yeah,
you can
that's
tell
cool.
that this is really a farm magazine
Yeah,
because
does it have like chickens and things on the inside?
I think maybe the goose does, or the turkey does have a head. It's just the goose has it.
Yeah, the goose has his wing out, so it looks like, because I thought, oh my God, there's a turkey standing there
Well,
without
that's
a head. That is creepy.
the way they did chickens, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
don't know if you can see this, but I like this. It's a page from October 1945, and you think about, what was going on then.
Yeah.
Um, and it's an October calendar. And again, it's a page from a book, a magazine,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're having fun. And then they give something that you could do every day of the
Oh,
month.
that's cool. Yeah,
Isn't that
October
neat?
1945, and the kids are all. Looks like they're all at a table, and they all have plates and cups and knives and forks, and they're eating candy apples. It looks like.
Yeah, they're having a little Halloween celebration.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that. What are some of the things they suggest doing? during the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
during the month.
Let's see. It's
Let's see
interesting.
what they were doing for fun in 1945.
Okay, let's see. Um, okay. The first day, here comes October with her, see if I can read this, her chain of sparkling days, her air of brisk excitement. Her, I love the personification here, right?
Yeah.
Her jolly something of sprites and goblins, her drifts of brilliant leaves. Um, then on the 7th, they talk about you can bake your apple in a cake. Put one egg, and they tell how to do that.
Oh,
Um, and then on the 14th, teenage refreshments, goblin sandwiches, fruit salad, and cocoa.
oh, nice.
And there's a buffet, and they say what you're going to do there. Pumpkin custard, lots of recipes.
What's the
Okay,
goblin?
I like this. On the 5th, meat stretching strategy. So that sort of shows a sign of the times there during the war.
Yeah, would have been a
When
shortage of,
green beans
yeah.
are almost cooked, add strips of salami and cook until beans are tender. You'll have a flavor to savor.
I like that. What is the goblin sandwich? Does it say?
Um, the goblin sandwich.
I think that was on
Where
the
was it?
5th.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. It just says goblin sandwich. I wonder what that
Yeah,
would
I
be.
know. I know. Maybe it does somewhere else. See, that was the 14th, 13th. Oh, I don't know. It tells how to make goblin faces. Oh, put sandwich filling in fat, soft buns. In bun tops, press stuffed olive slices for eyes, pecan for noses, cheese crescents for mouths. I guess that's the
I guess
goblin
that's
sandwich.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that sounds better than the ghost sandwiches that we would have as kids. That was the marshmallow fluff.
Yeah,
Remember that stuff? Oh, yeah, with peanut butter, marshmallow fluff and peanut butter.
I
Ugh.
know. No,
Ugh.
I know. You're
Yeah.
right. Let's see what else. Who's this guy? I don't know who he is. Okay, here's like this. Um, October 1931. What I liked about this was it's you could
Oh, that's
you
cute. Yeah,
could
it says
see
country.
even the artwork around here.
Yeah, the country
And
gentleman that it has an owl, a pumpkin, a cat, stylized, and then it has two kids. They bumped heads. There's stars above their heads. They were bobbing for apples, and I guess they bumped into each other.
yeah, yeah,
And there's a big bucket with full of water, and they have their hands behind their back, leaning in to bob for the apples.
yeah. Big old,
I remember bobbing for apples as a kid,
yeah.
and it was really hard
Like
to do. You had to kind of grab the apple and push it all the way to the bottom and bite into it,
yeah,
to really get the apple.
right.
So you were out of luck if they had a really deep
Hail
bucket.
or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. It was always sort of a, for me anyway. It could be a romantic thing. I mean, like, do you really like? Because they would usually pair us up with a guy, and like just this picture, and you go like, "Oh, I can't stand him! Don't touch me!" Or "Ooh."
Yeah.
Okay, I know you remember this commercial. I'm not sure what year this is. 1964. But I always like this because I'm a Coke nut, and I
Oh,
remember this
yeah.
ad being on so many things.
Yeah, it's a really cute girl. It's a girl, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really cute girl, and um, she's leaning over a uh, typical pumpkin with the classic cut to the face. There's a candle in it, so it's lit up, and there's a guy over her with his head on top of her head almost, and there's two bottles of Coke for the two of them. Yeah, yeah,
and Coke in bottles. I mean, everybody still loves that best, don't you?
yeah,
It
yeah.
just tastes good.
Yeah, I used to collect all kinds of Coke stuff. My whole kitchen was everything was Coke. I had
Yeah,
trays and knickknacks and change trays and things on the wall and a cupboard. I had a old Coke ice box I mean, just tons and tons of Coke stuff, bottles.
Do you
Um,
still have all that stuff?
no, when I moved a couple times, 3 or 4 times ago, I got rid of all the stuff. Um, I think I accidentally got rid of one of the trays. It was valuable.
Uh,
But oh well, you know, oh well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good collection.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I think I showed you that. I just think this was pretty. I'm sorry, should I keep showing you this because I know
Yeah,
people
show us one more, and then we'll wrap up. Yeah,
can't see.
because the
Let's see.
podcast audience really like this.
These are antique little things.
So he's like, is it a clown?
Um, yeah, he is. He's got the little cat there, and he's on
He's got
wheels.
wheels. Yeah, he's on a platform that has wheels, and he's got a hat that says Zook, and he's got a clown collar that's black. He's got black buttons down his shirt. It looks like it might be a bear, or maybe he's a person because his nose is all black, and his body is like a pinkish red. He's
Hmm.
what, about 6 inches tall?
Yeah.
About that tall? Yeah. He's
Um,
plastic.
I think Zook means something. I can't remember. It was, and then these were very popular also.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's a scarecrow, but he's got a pumpkin head, and his arms are straight out with the elbows bent and the hands down, and then he's pinkish, and he's got a coat, a black shoes and pants, and he's got black checks on his jacket, and a typical pumpkin face, and he's got like a tie, so it looks like a T under his neck. Yeah, he's cute.
And
I
you
like that.
could
And that's
put
plastic also.
candy in
Oh,
the back.
so you could put.
I think they put candy.
Okay, so he's a candy holder. Yeah, and he's got like a backpack that's open
Mhm.
in the back, and that would be a cool little thing to have 3 or 4 pieces of candy, and then you give that to
Yeah.
kids because then they can play with
Yeah.
that afterward. So, what time period is that one from?
These are, I think, I don't know, 30s maybe,
Oh,
maybe
nice.
some 40s. Yeah. And this guy's on wheels too, and it's the same thing. He's got the
He's
thing in the
got the little
back.
thing in back. Yeah, he's the same thing except his coat is black.
Mhm. And this is glass, and this is part of a set. And I've never. I know there's more, and I want the set.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little kid dressed as a devil. He's
Mhm.
got a red cape, and he's maybe 3, 4 inches tall. His face looks porcelain. Did you say he's porcelain?
The whole thing is.
Yeah, and you see his hands. Then he's got a red hat, but then with horns, but not red. You know, they're kind of
It's a little
whitish
devil.
gray. Yeah, and he's got his face has been painted, so his lips are red and his cheeks are rosy. And
Yeah, that was very popular. I think during that age, I would say like 40s.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, he is cool. He is
yeah.
cool. You said there's more to the set.
Uh-huh. I think I've seen them, but I've just never been able to grab them.
Uh, yeah, if you find something, you got to grab it fast,
Yeah, I know.
or
I know.
it goes too quick. It goes too quick. Well, that was
So
really cool.
the balls in your park now. You got to come up with the next collection that we can talk about.
I do. I'll have to think of
I'm sure there are people out there that would love it, and I would
yeah,
just love. I
yeah.
love seeing what people collect, and just
You know, I
it's
do too.
dangerous though for me.
I do too. You know, I love going to antique stores and and especially when we lived in Wisconsin, there were a lot of little antique stores you could wander through, and just so many very cool things. We used to have like oh, lobster traps, and we used to have old-fashioned lures and the little floaty things that you fish with, bobbers or whatever, and they'd
Yeah.
be
Oh yeah, bobbers.
different
I love
shapes. Yeah,
bobbers.
antique bobbers and just all that cool stuff. And when we lived in more of a rural lake type area, and so yeah, it's like I said, one of my favorite things to do is to go and wander, and you never know what
Hmm.
great things you are going to find.
Yeah. It
Definitely.
seems
So
like
yeah,
there
well,
are more. really neat stores like that up north.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's just that that's like the first thing I do when I go back up to visit, and I always find glassware for my. I've got a couple of collections of depression glassware, and so
Mm.
I will go and buy more pieces for sets that I don't really need that my kids don't want. So I probably should stop it because who knows what I'm doing. I think I read somewhere that the kids nowadays they don't want any of these things that their parents have collected, and the shops don't want them either. You know, they're just they're uh they're just they're just collecting dust in attics. You know, and nobody wants these things, which is a
It
shame.
will, though. I mean, what I think about, you remember, I think they were still sort of popular in bathrooms, maybe in the 60s, but definitely in the 50s, where they had the fish and the little bubbles.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
And I just think they're the cutest things. And, but, nobody, they're not, I don't know. I don't see anybody collecting those, but I do like them. I wouldn't put
yeah,
them in my bathroom, but I think they're really neat.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
color, the turquoise and everything is very popular now. Turquoise, that same color.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. So, if you are listening, do you have a collection? What do you collect? You can go down to the show notes and click on comment here. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm sorry that hopefully I described things well enough for you on the podcast. If you clicked on comment, it'll take you over to the YouTube channel and you can comment on our YouTube channel. You can watch again if you want to, or just kind of scroll through to look at things that you might have heard about on the podcast and then wanted to see on the YouTube version. And what kind of things do you collect? Do you collect anything? That's what I want to know. What do you collect? So go ahead and, like I said, leave a comment. Thank you, Terri, for coming on. And
Oh, thanks.
it's just so much fun to just to chat. And I hope everybody enjoyed this today. And if you didn't, oh well. I've been drinking Zacapa and I don't care.
Have a safe one.
Yeah. And we will see you all another day. Thanks, Terri. If you were listening on the podcast, you can go down to the show notes and click on comment. It will take you to our YouTube page and you can comment. If you're on the YouTube page already, you know what to do. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Halloween. I know we asked a couple questions, but I've forgotten what I asked. Yes, the Zacapa. I must have drank just a little too much of it. Um, that's it for now. I'm going to go and recover. And I will see you next time. Go read a good book.